Hey everybody, it's Benny One, and I'm back at you with another Superman movie review, and we're moving on in my Superman movie review series, and we're moving on to 2013's Man of Steel, everybody. That's right, directed by Zack Snyder. That's right. This started the DCEU, the current, DC Comics multiverse, whatever continuity you want to call it in the live action movies. It's been pretty choppy. It's been pretty messy. I think they're pretty much on track now, though. But now it seems like Discovery purchased Warner Brothers and their media company. So who knows what the hell's gonna happen with all this stuff? They have plans laid out for movies over the next 3 to 4 years. So who knows what's gonna happen? But yes, Man of Steel, everybody. So after 2006's Superman Returns did not do quite what Warner Brothers wanted it to do to rejuvenate and relight that Superman movie fire that they once had. They decided to totally go a different direction with the character and everything, and they brought on Zack and Christopher Nolan, who had done the Dark Knight trilogy at the time, because the Dark Knight Rises came out in 2012, to produce, and he was going to help Zack do this movie as a producer. So we got a very darker and more serious take on Superman, which I actually enjoyed, to tell you the truth. So I think this movie does get a lot more hate than I think it deserves. It's a new origin story, a new way of telling this character's origin story, which I like how they did it in this movie, to tell you the truth. So, and I did review this movie about a year and a half ago on my channel, but since I'm reviewing all the Superman movies and then I'm going to rank them and all that stuff, I have to revisit it and rewatch it. I've watched this movie a lot since it came out. I was a big fan of this movie when it came out. It does have its flaws, though. I will say that. It does have its flaws. So, like I said, this movie's directed by Zack Snyder. Visually, one of the best directors in Hollywood, easily, today. Storytelling is not his strongest suit. I will say that with him. But I do think as he's gotten older and the more movies he's made, I do think that's improving, a la the Snyder Cut. And then Christopher Nolan was the producer on this, so he was involved with the making of this. And you can kind of tell because it is a darker take, like his Nolan Batman movies. They're very dark, very grounded. And this is a pretty grounded Superman movie to a point, because it is Superman and he is an alien. So, and then Henry Cavill plays Superman and Clark Kent, and I think he's a fantastic Superman. I think he's a good Superman. His Clark Kent really isn't the comic book working at the Daily Planet Clark Kent in this movie yet. So I really can't judge him based on the Clark Kent Superman thing, because he really doesn't even get a chance to play the traditional Clark Kent with Superman in this movie. We don't really get him as that until the very, very end of the movie before the credits roll. So, and then Amy Adams plays Lois Lane. I think she is great as Lois Lane. I totally buy her as Lois Lane over Rachel McAdams any freaking day. She actually is that intrepid reporter that goes out there and hunts for the stories and all that stuff, and I think she portrays that very well. And I actually don't mind that she knows who Clark is. She knows that Clark Kent is Superman. I don't care about that, because I've always kind of thought that the greatest reporter, that ever was to write for a big metropolitan newspaper, Pulitzer Prize winner, could not figure out that a dude in a suit with some glasses and his hair slicked over, acting like a bumbling idiot, was not Superman. I just never really could buy that. So I kind of enjoyed that they just skipped over that beat in this movie. To tell you the truth, I didn't mind it. So Michael Shannon is in this movie as our big baddie, General Zod. And I love what they did with General Zod and Krypton in general in this movie. the whole opening part of the movie, like the first like 15-20 minutes, is all on Krypton, man. And Russell Crowe is Jor-El. We get to see him fight, defend his son, everything. Like, I love the way they designed Krypton. It was very alien and future techy and all sorts of stuff. The whole Krypton opening sequence, fantastic. They show Zod trying to overthrow everything, even though the planet's gonna explode. Well done. I just think it was very well done. The scene with them putting Cal in the ship, it was very touching. It was a throwback, callback to the Marlon Brando stuff, but it was new. It was different. It was updated. So I like that. Kevin Costner plays Jonathan Kent. Awesome Jonathan Kent. And Diane Lane plays Martha Kent. She is great as Martha Kent. They're younger in this movie compared to the original Christopher Reeves one, but they're both well cast. See, because what happens is when we get introduced to Clark in this movie, he's not Superman yet, and he's an adult, and we get flashback sequences of his time growing up in Smallville instead of them spending another 15 minutes of the movie telling the origin of the Smallville stuff. We get flashback and cut scenes of this stuff, which is a little disjointed storytelling, but I actually don't mind it because I know this story. I know this origin story. I don't need to see it again, so I like these little flashback sequences that we get that don't take up a lot of time in the movie. And we get a lot of cool stuff with Kevin Costner's Jonathan Kent, and the way that he ends up dying in this movie is very touching. It hits you in the chest, man. It really does. So, and then Lawrence Fishburne plays Perry White. He's literally the only Daily Planet like regular that's in this movie. Jimmy Olsen's not in the movie. Like they don't do that kind of stuff. You don't get to see, there's no globe on top of the Daily Planet or anything like that. They kind of kept that stuff out of this movie. So, and the movie's very dark. It's very dark, but I like the route that they went with this, whereas they went for that kind of alien approach where if there really was somebody like this, a being like this living among us, that all of a sudden showed up and introduced himself floating in front of the military with this crazy looking suit that has a red cape, people would be freaked out. They really would. They wouldn't just be like, ooh, Superman, Superman. They would be scared like we would. Like, it would be intriguing, but it would be freaky at the same time and a little scary at the same time. And then Zod shows up and everything. So you got spaceships up in space, and one of them's threatening to basically destroy the planet if Kal-El, Superman, does not turn himself in. So, like, they show how the world would react, the government and the military, and I like that because it's real. And I like the real approach to the storytelling with this movie because it matches the more modern versions of Superman in the comics that they've kind of done over the past like 15 years, as they've approached him that way as how would the world react to him actually coming and appearing and showing himself. Like, they really dive into that in this story, and I just think they do a fantastic job with it. We get to see Superman freaking fight. We get to see him do a bunch of badass shit when he learns how to fly for the first time. That joy that Henry Cavill shows off when he's learning how to fly. He's laughing and everything, and it's just, I love it. The suit, I will say, is a little bit too dark for me. I don't like the tone of the colors and how it's very dark. I feel like they did lighten it up as the movies went on, but it was pretty dark. But it was a cool suit. I liked the suit, and it matched the comic book character at the time with the no red underwear and all that stuff. But yes, we get to see Superman actually do some badass shit in this movie. Him and Zod fight, which I will say that's one of my things that I don't like about the movie is that fight sequence with him and Zod towards the end of the movie. Like, it's too long. It is. They could have cut it 5 minutes easily, maybe even more. They stretched it out just a little bit too much. They could have cut some of that out for sure. And then I don't mind what he does to Zod. I really don't. I don't mind. He had to do it because Zod was not going to stop. He snaps Zod's neck. He kills Zod. I know. Superman does not kill anybody. But you know what? They pushed him to the limit. Zod pushed him to the point where he literally did everything he possibly could to stop this monster and this madman. And it was the only thing he could do was snap his neck because he wasn't going to stop. No matter what he did, he was not going to stop. He could beat him up constantly and keep destroying the city, which they really did. They literally like leveled most of Metropolis, or at least the main city center part. Like it was destroyed and leveled because of the Kryptonian freaking Earth thing that they're like terraforming the Earth and everything. It's just the destruction level in this movie was off the hook, like way too much. But yeah, the whole killing Zod thing I didn't mind. But I think the movie is good. I think it's a good new introduction to this character, and they tried something different. Like that's the thing. They went a different route and they gave us a different type of Superman that we've never seen before. Yes, it's pretty dark and it's not that hopeful Christopher Reeves Superman, but it's still a good story and a good version of this character. And Hans Zimmer's score for this movie, no, it's not freaking John Williams' Superman score, but his Superman score, the main Superman theme in this movie, it's good. Like, I think it's really good. I don't think it's John Williams' Superman score, but this whole score for the movie and everything, like, I feel like it amplified and improved the movie because of the score. Like, I love Hans Zimmer. I put him right up there with John Williams. Like, I really do. He's right below him as far as my favorite composers in movies. So, fantastic score, and it elevates the movie easily. So, yeah, overall, guys, when I reviewed this like about a year and a half ago, I gave it a 9 out of 10, and I'm still going to give it a 9 out of 10. I do think the ending fight scene, I really feel like they could have cut some of that. It was too long. Superman suit's a little too dark, but you could nitpick the shit out of the movie, like you really could. You could nitpick the hell out of any movie, but I'm going to stick with my rating for this as a 9 out of 10 for Man of Steel, everybody. So I hope you guys enjoyed that review. I thank you for watching, and be catching you on the tube laters because I have spoken.